Hi, it's Chris Skelding here. Thanks for taking the time to listen to what I've got to say over the next minute or so. I'll be as brief as I can. Look, I've been doing some writing this last 12 months, and I've been lucky enough to be able to publish several books, and I'd like to just take you quickly through them. I've been writing for a long time, particularly some of you might recall the Spectator that I write in, which is published every fortnight on the Capricorn coast in Queensland here. And I do a full page column once a fortnight on my travels or what Mary and I have been up to, where we've been, who we've met, and just jolly general stuff, which the local people seem to like quite a lot. If you haven't seen it, it's on my Facebook profile. Just go to my albums, and you'll see that there's an album for each year going back to about 2009, I think. Now, this year I've managed to publish three books on both on Kindle and on paperback, and I haven't written them all this year, so in 2022, but they've been published this year. They've actually taken in all perhaps 20 years to write altogether. The first one is about Walter Charles Skelding, my granddad, my father's father, who had a very interesting travel in life during the Second World War and after the war in Africa and the Middle East on lots of brilliant building projects, which um, I've been lucky enough to see a few of them. Then a little bit later in the year, around about the autumn in the UK, published this one, which is about William Rowland and Annie Thomas, who were my mum's mum and dad, and they lived in Glananant, Pengham, died about 50 years ago. That's my daughter there, who Booker T. Skelding, the photographer, who was sitting with her great grandmother. So it was a pleasure to write that, and it seems to have found favour with the people of Glananant, who have been buying it in modest numbers, shall we say. Now, this one is a much bigger work. It's about 200 and something pages long. I've called it A Long Way from Senghenydd. Senghenydd was where I was born in Wales, small mining village, which is it's a scene of a tragedy way back in the over a century ago. There were two very massive explosions at the mine, the Universal Colliery, which claimed the lives of over 500 men together in both those disasters. But it's also a happy place. I talk about my happy childhood there, growing up with my friends and the people who lived around there and looked after me, mum and dad, and how they made their way in the world during the post-war years. This is volume one, which will I've taken you through Senghenydd and through my life in Caerphilly, and then where I began travelling after education at university in Pontypridd and then in Cardiff. I went on to Africa to work in the mines there, and then on to Papua New Guinea. And I left Papua New Guinea in 1991, which is where this book ends. Volume two is in preparation. It should be ready sometime next year, and that will cover the last 25 years or more I've spent in Australia. Um, Thanks for listening. I just let you know that you can get copies of the latest book in if you're in Australia, you can get them in Emu Park Newsagent, or if you get send me an email, I'll mail them to you. They're $20 if you buy them at the newsagent, 25 if I have to post them to you. My email is chris_skelding at hotmail.com. That's Chris, CHRIS _Skelding, SKELDING at hotmail.com. If you're in the UK, you can get them at Glen 7 Hall Cafe, where they're available on sale at £10 each. And also, they're on sale at the Aber Valley Heritage Museum in Gowan Avenue in Senghenydd, where this all started. I'd like to thank you once again for taking the time to listen to me, and I hope you have a happy new year. Bye bye.